So I've had a few people ask me how I do the artificial wood, in particular for the fake fire that I made up. So this is a bit of a response video for them and anybody else who's interested. The way I did the burnt timber is probably the easiest. I used expanding foam and put out small little dots of it and the occasional long smear of it in that sort of plank configuration. And then once it had dried to the board, I just sliced it off the board and spray painted it black. There is a little bit of grey highlight in that as well, but that is essentially the simplest one of all. For the fire burnt bark type pieces, I used the expanding foam again. The difference is I allowed the foam to completely expand in one piece, and then once it was dry, I trimmed off the outer surface of it, and that thin piece I then quite literally set on fire to get the scorch effect, particularly around the outside edges of it. And then once again, I just gave a bit of a hit with the spray paint, and it's just a flat black that I'm using as far as the sprays are concerned. For the couple of bits and pieces where I wanted a more complicated bark feature, technique that I've used is this that you can see here. And it might not be immediately obvious what it is when you first see it, but if I turn it over, it becomes pretty obvious. It's just aluminium foil. The beauty with this is that you can use any length of foil that you want, and you can make up quite large log pieces if you wanted to using this technique. If you wanted to do more than just a bark effect, you can easily flip it over, fill it up with the expanding foam, trim off the edges so that you have that log sort of shape to it, and then paint in the extra details that you need. And then to get the final details as far as the wood grain is concerned, what I've been using is just an ordinary water-based gap filler, and then I just butter it onto the surface in a nice thin coating. It doesn't need to be any more than probably a mil or two thick in the overall coating of it. I'm using an old bread knife here because the serrated edge of the bread knife, once I turn it around, allows me to draw the blade across the surface of it and start building up that wood grain effect. If you want to add in things like knots and stuff like that, just push your thumb or finger into the surface of the gap filler and then sort of just draw the lines around the outside edge. If you can imagine, almost like a water passing around a rock in a stream as it flows down river, just pass it around that outside edge, and that gives you a really nice knot in the wood sort of look to it as well. Once that's set aside to dry, you can paint it if you want to with any number of different colours that you want to. What I'm using here in this instance though is a wood stain, and there's a number of different wood stains on the market that can produce a really nice finish, especially on the white surface like this. And if you take a bit of time with this stuff and you blend your colours and that sort of stuff, you can come up with some pretty good results. To give you a bit of an idea, this piece that I've been using in the background there, you may have seen it or maybe you didn't. This has also been extended with the aluminium foil to create a larger branch piece than I actually had. So that's some techniques there for you guys. I hope that's been useful for you. Feel free to leave a comment in the comment section if you need any further help. But that's it for this time round, guys. Thanks for watching. Talk to you next time.